things of that nature, 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 things of that nature.
Oh, you love to see Sam Pittman then, didn't you? What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Pot of That Nature post-game show. What are y'all up to? We're not doing much. I mean, just kind of watching the entire field get stormed at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Arkansas 19, Tennessee 14. Number 4 team in the country goes down. Another orange team walks into Fayetteville, and they're handed an L, and it's pandemonium in Fayetteville. Man, oh man, that was incredible. Huge win for this football program. Andrew, man, we were just watching the end of that together from our respective layers. And, well, I got FOMO for not being down there, but I'm excited to talk to everybody right now, man. It looks like this chat's about to be popping.
Yeah, it's about to be popping, as it should be, man. Dude, you got to give it to the Hogs, man. I don't care what it looked like. That was beautiful. That was beautiful grown man football, physical, tough. Curtis, before we'll dive into it all, but Travis Williams, just give yourself a freaking round of applause, man. Pat yourself on the back. What a performance, dude. He had that group fired up to play. They took that matchup personal. We talked about that a little bit on our Pot of That Nature pregame show, that Arkansas, some players on their team needed to take this personally. Man, T-Will had that group fired up, and I love every time they show him on the sideline. He's just going nuts. And Malachi Singleton, game-winning touchdown run, as we all predicted. I don't know that I thought this was, it's not that I didn't think this was possible. And we even said if Arkansas was going to win, it was going to have to be a low-scoring affair, but
they followed the script,
man. They followed the script, and you want to change a narrative, Curtis? You want to change a narrative about your program, about your team, about what you're capable of doing, about what Sam Pittman's capable of doing. That's the kind of performance. And look, it wasn't beautiful. It wasn't perfect. There's plenty we can nitpick here and there, but man, that's a gut check win. After falling behind 14-3, Curtis, I would love to know anybody that really felt confident, like, oh yeah, Arkansas is going to battle back and in this game on a 16-0 run. Man, that showed a lot of cojones right there, man.
Nobody in my mentions thought it was going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. But honestly, why would you? Given everything we've seen as Razorback fans over the years. By the way, that's a 1-score victory. Sam Pittman now 7-16 in those games, so he got a tally in the win column there. I'm so damn happy for Sam Pittman. I really am, and everybody, the entire team. We got so much to get to, but yeah, Arkansas had to follow a very specific script to get this done tonight, and they really did it flawlessly. Outside of, of course, a few missed opportunities there in the first half to get this to it could have been a 2-3 score game at halftime. It wasn't, and I think that's why everybody was feeling a little bit nervous. But what do you have to do? Like, Tennessee's outscoring people by 146 points or something crazy in the first half of games, and what does Arkansas do? They come right out. They go on a 9-minute, I got it right in front of me. Where's that drive chart at? 16-play scoring drive and get a field goal. And then Tennessee never got into a rhythm the entire first half because of that. One, they weren't on the field. So kudos to Arkansas, even when they weren't scoring, for sustaining some drives, taking time off that clock, keeping that defense fresh. And when they were out there, those dudes were swarming. Travis Williams is an absolute stud. He's a head coach in waiting and needs to be at Arkansas, but it's going to be somewhere. Arkansas has a borderline elite defense. I mean, that was really, really damn impressive against one of the most potent offensive attacks in the country. Just shut them down. Tennessee comes out after halftime. They go on back-to-back scoring drives, and you're like, here we go again. But after that, they had nothing. After those 2 scoring drives, it was punt, turnover on downs, ball game. Incredible. I'm so impressed. Nico Iamaleava had nothing going for him. They were rattled. Kudos to the crowd as well, because they absolutely impacted this game. You could tell it. Just, gosh, man, it's just a huge win. Unbelievable, man.
And there's going to be a lot of talk after this game. I mean, obviously Arkansas was able to expose some flaws that Tennessee, has on their team, obviously at the offensive line. And, people will talk about Nico, but good Lord, dude, that's a win that is going to age extremely well also, because this Tennessee team is not going to go away. They're not just going to, this isn't it for their season. They're not just going to pack it in and be like, oh, we got exposed, whatever. This is a team that was averaging 54 points a game, outscoring their opponents 54-7 on average. number one total offense in the SEC up there in the country, number one total defense in the country, only allowing 50 rushing yards per game. Stat Broadcast is on crack. I don't know what happened to Stat Broadcast down the stretch of this game.
Yeah, that was
at
wild.
least from the U. So we'll have no idea of really validating or like quantifying what Arkansas's rushing attack finished with. But I do know that whatever it was, Curtis, they earned every yard they got, and it was double whatever Tennessee had given up the entire year, basically coming in. It's unbelievable. And I'm talking about offense here. Obviously, the defense is the story, holds the Tennessee offense again that was averaging 54 points a game to 14 points. And Curtis, credit to you because you texted me right after Tennessee scored that second touchdown and Arkansas went down and scored a touchdown to cut it 14-10. You texted me and you said there's no chance that Arkansas gives up a touchdown here. Tennessee's definitely not scoring on this drive. And they even got 2 quick first downs. But then you saw that Arkansas defense respond like they did all night long. You said it in our text. You said Arkansas is too good to get scored on 3 times in a row. Defense, the way that it's playing. And good Lord, man, you looked at that Tennessee offense and down the stretch, they got, well, I don't know where they finished out yardage wise because Nico decided to just try to move the chains with 0 seconds left on the clock. I think they finished at like the 10-yard line or whatever. But really, it's like you watched them play offense most of the night, and it was like they could have had 6 quarters. I don't know if they were going to be able to get to some of their yardage that they've been putting up for the entire year. We knew that Arkansas was going to have to limit the run game, and they did a damn good job of that, although Dillon Sampson did get loose for that one long touchdown run, which, by the way, credit to Nico Slaughter. It didn't amount to anything because they scored a few plays later or maybe the next play, but chasing them down, giving some effort on that run. You love to see it. And Curtis, we'll get into the individual performances. There's like 15 defenders that we can go and be like, man, that guy showed up tonight. That guy showed up and made an impact tonight. It felt like Arkansas had 15 defenders on the field at some times during this game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That play by Slaughter is a prime example of a team that has not let go of the rope. They weren't feeling sorry for themselves. They weren't embracing our coach is probably going to get fired bullshit that we've been hearing. These dudes still think and believe that they're a very good football team, and they proved it in this game. That was just, it was gritty. It was tough, and Arkansas had every reason to lose this game. In fact, I was prepared for it to happen and to come on here and do the whole bit about, hey, listen, guys, it stinks, but not all one-score losses are created equal. Why? Because Taylon Green goes down as soon as Arkansas starts to get some momentum offensively in the second half. Jaquindon Jackson's not out there. Malachi Singleton looks a little bit shaky there for the first couple possessions that he had. The snap deal with him and Nichols was just off. Even the broadcasters are saying, listen, Arkansas is going to have to get good field position here because they're not going to be able to get a first down. And then what happens, man? Singleton hits Satania for a nice little gain, first down, get some confidence. Russell, just an absolute bulldozer. Singleton finishes it off with a touchdown. We're talking about your young guys stepping up and being ready for the moment was absolutely huge, man. Just huge. Arkansas plays there's a turnover-free game, right?
Yeah, turnovers, man.
No turnovers.
That's kind of the question we've all been having. What can this team look like if they just don't do stupid stuff, don't turn the ball over? You can compete with literally anyone in the country.
There you go. Absolutely. I was super impressed with so many guys. I mean, Taylon Green absolutely deserves his flowers. I am going to be anxious to hear, and if somebody sees it in the chat, I know, it's a celebration right now. Pittman will do his press conference shortly.
As it should be.
Let us know what he says. And it's a good thing you got a bye week coming up here. Hope he's okay. Glad that he tried to gut it out. But as soon as he tried to roll out on that first play, it was like, this ain't going to work. But man, 19 of 27, 266 yards. Didn't have anything going on the ground. And listen, did he underthrow Jordan Anthony for a potential touchdown there early? Yeah, he did. Did he not see Tesla streaking down the field open? Yeah, that happened. Did he also hit, Isaiah Satania right between the nipples for a touchdown that he dropped? Yeah, that happened too. I thought Green was phenomenal in this game, and Singleton, just, that's not an easy situation to be put in. He performed. Jackson, I said I wanted him to get 20 touches. He had 20 carries, 2 receptions, just And hell, Andrew, the biggest thing about it's the line of scrimmage, right? Yeah. I mean, I thought Arkansas's defensive line was phenomenal. Never let Nico get comfortable back there. And then on the other end, all we've heard about is how tough and deep and physical and talented this Tennessee defensive front is. And kudos to the Arkansas offensive line for holding their ground. They got a couple sacks there. I think one of them came on Singleton, but And they had 8 TFLs, but listen, Arkansas moved the ball better on Tennessee than anybody has this season. They were the aggressor. They had their foot on the gas pedal. Just a ballsy performance. Really impressed. And we're going to get to your chats, everybody. And John's going to join us at some point. He's going and trying to get set up somewhere. He was actually over there tonight, unless he's on the field. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But we're gonna roll through your chats as we speak. Because there's just a lot of people who are just throwing out how excited they are. And I want that to pop up on the screen while we're talking. And then if there's talking points, we'll pull it up and we'll chat about it.
Well, I was going to say that it's going to be tough because there's a lot of chats coming in, which we love. After a win like this, they should be going in there. But you want to know a foolproof way to get our attention is what David did right here. Beers on me, boys. Shout out to David. And David, that should be just like 1/10 of your alcoholic purchases tonight. Just everyone here, when you go out to the clubs after this, drink up, boys. This is a special night, and everyone should enjoy it. That sucks that Arkansas has to share this day with Vanderbilt a little bit. We're not going to focus on that. But Curtis, I want to talk about Taylon Green and his performance, and just what's so impressive to me about it is, coming into this game, what was kind of our narrative? We were saying Arkansas needs the big play, and that was kind of the case for sticking with Taylon Green despite his inaccuracies and his inconsistencies. He has that home run ability, and you saw a little bit of that, and you saw his kind of his tendency, and you can see how dangerous he is once he gets outside the pocket. But what I was really impressed with is he just made the throws and reads that he needed to consistently. And I know obviously wasn't perfect, had some throws here and there that he'd like back, and as Sam Pittman said at halftime, some reads that he would like to have back. But you saw when that dude stands in there and he's confident, on time, and just in rhythm, he looks awesome, man. And he looked a lot like the version of him that we kind of saw flashes of in the spring that was in command of this offense, and why there really was no quarterback competition. I thought this is by far, especially given the context, by far the most encouraging performance of Taylon Green's tenure at Arkansas. And he's had games where he's had bigger moments. I don't even think he had a touchdown passing or rushing. But I was just really impressed with the way that, because like we said, we didn't think Arkansas was going to be able to consistently put out drives against this Tennessee defense. We thought it would be a little bit boom or bust. But Curtis, to me, I feel like the theme of tonight was just a response to adversity from Arkansas. One big picture, you lose a tough game against A&M, who, by the way, we saw today how damn good that A&M team is. They whipped up on Missouri pretty good. Yeah. But it would, like we said, this was kind of our first chance to see this Arkansas team. This was a chance for them to kind of check out mentally. They certainly didn't do that. And there were many moments in this game where you could see Arkansas getting deflated. And they probably, we all kind of, as fans, predicted it like, oh, man, like this kind of feels familiar. They're up 3-0, and it feels like they've dominated, should have done more. And you're kind of thinking, oh, that's totally not going to come back to haunt them. And then when Tennessee goes down 14-3, you want to talk about a chance to roll over and quit. That's your time to do it. And to buck that narrative and to buck that trend in real time with the big crowd in front of you. You're on a national audience. Kirk Herbstreit's calling the game. It's really hard to overcome that. And we talked about this coming into the game with Tennessee, how when you're in a game that's harder than you expected it to be, it's really hard to get yourself out of that. In Tennessee, I think you can see that. They definitely did not expect it to be as hard as it was. And they had a tough time really just getting into any kind of rhythm and overcoming that. You could see them mentally trying to process it. So for Arkansas to, give Tennessee a few punches early, take a massive one, and you kind of feel like that's the natural stepping off point for this team, narratively speaking. And they just fought back, man. They just fought back, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, just unbelievable stuff. And also the offense stringing together that drive down the stretch. I still don't really know how they did it. Shout out to Braylon Russell. You're down your starting running back, the leading SEC rusher. You're down your starting quarterback. You're down your kicker, who, by the way, Matthew Shipley, who it looked like was going to have to kick a game winner there for a little bit. Matthew Shipley makes his one extra point, but Arkansas had every reason. They would have been, we would have kind of applauded them. We'd have been like, you know what? You fought hard. You had a chance to compete there. Like, we were prepared to come on here and be like, hey, nice effort.
I was going to do the moral victory thing. I was going to do it.
They were like, nah, F that. We're here to win. And that's the kind of stuff you need. That's the kind of dog you have to have. And we kind of wondered if this team had it. They had it tonight, man. And it was just a special night.
Yeah. 8 carries, 62 yards for Braylon Russell. And a majority of those came there on that final possession, just running like an absolute freight train. Yeah. Congratulations. Jaquindon Jackson's out of the game, and you think you get a break with the next guy up. No, but Braylon Russell will hit you in the freaking mouth too. Jaquindon Jackson, 20 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown this game, but man, he ran so tough, so physical. So many times it felt like he was hitting the backfield or at the line of scrimmage for nothing, and he would always make something out of it. A yard here, 2 there, whatever. The dude just flat falls forward. We saw some Rashad DeBanion in there early.
Yeah.
Him and Luke Has both got touches on the first possession. We're like, whoa, what team are we watching here? This is unreal. 9 catches for 132 yards. Andrew Armstrong just continues to be one of the best receivers in the SEC.
Broden.
Tyrone Broden. That was a hell of a catch. A hell of a catch. And he got popped on it and held onto that football. 22-yard grab was absolutely pivotal.
Well, that was on the drive when Arkansas was down 14-3, right?
Yep.
And, I'm not saying, hey, if he doesn't make that catch, Arkansas doesn't win the game. But if Arkansas didn't get something going on that drive, it was going to be bad news. And you saw kind of everyone step up there, man. Just awesome to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, unbelievable. What do we got here? I know we got some more super chats. Let's get to those.
We got Stripius Wiggs says, Woo Pick Suey, cheers. He's a legend. He's consistent in the chat.
An OG.
Megan and the one we like, Curtis.
That's right.
We got a mixed bag. We got about 6 or 7 Megans that'll pop up on the stream.
One
of them, I forget her last name, just very negative. She's having a rough night tonight.
Where the hell is she? Is she in here? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't checked, but typically not. She thought Arkansas was going to lose to UAB. She was really adamant about that. We've also got Raymond Ferguson, not going to take away from the amazing job the fellas did tonight and not steal their thunder, but where does the momentum go from here? Raymond, we appreciate you for the super chat. But what do you mean? Where does the momentum go from here? I mean, there's a bye week. So, look, you get a week off to kind of sit back and relax and soak that win in and make fun of other college football teams. But then you got a home game against LSU in 2 weeks' time.
On one hand,
another night game.
There's
the
a part of me
goes right there. What do you mean? Where does it go?
There's a part of me that wish they played next week, but man, they need a bye from a physicality standpoint.
Tennessee was coming off a bye.
Yeah. And we're gonna have to really keep an eye on what the deal was there with Taylor Green. I'm gonna be very interested to see what the deal is there. Same with Jackson, but man, that did, boy, when Green's knee hyperextended like that, I was like, oh crap. And so we'll see, man. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, man, we got some other stuff coming in here. What we got? Aiden Watson. He said I thought the late hit was when we would lose. Yeah, well, they had 2. So who was it the first time on the sideline? It was
Switzer.
That's
Switzer
right.
had the one
Switzer
on the
there.
Yeah, next to the helmet.
Yeah.
Spence,
I think, was the one. Yeah, who did that? So.
Yeah, those are. I mean, and when I texted you whenever they did the late hit, the Switzer late hit out of bounds, and I was just like, that's the undisciplined stuff, and that's when it really did kind of feel like the tide was turning, and it was like the air was going to come out of the balloon.
Yeah,
the fact that Arkansas turned around and won that game, I agree, Aiden. I my confidence definitely waned right about then. John Neighbors.
There he is.
What do you have to say for yourself, John Neighbors? The chat's been asking. They need a statement. Mark Dubb wants an apology. He said that you clowned him for thinking Arkansas was good.
Guys, man, it was just an overwhelming feeling. I kept thinking, I was like, man, they're going to find a way to screw this up. They're going to find a way. And, it's crazy because every Razorback fan I was sitting next to, everybody, it was like, they kind of felt the same way. But and when Taylor Green goes down, because I know you guys have talked all about it, but it's like when you guys have talked about it and seen Taylor Green go out, and then you got the problems offensively and all that stuff, man, it's just everything in this game went wrong for Arkansas like it typically does. But only this time they did just enough. They've always done just enough to lose. This time they did just enough to win. And man, I'm telling you, that was awesome. That was awesome. And I'm just be honest, man. I got emotional. I was so happy for Razorback fans. Like, you guys have been through some hell, man. Yeah. You guys have been through some hell of trying to go out there and to the way the football season went last year and the basketball season went last year and then baseball. Like, y'all needed that, man. Arkansans needed that. We needed that. Like, it was incredible, man. Yeah, like, it was just incredible, man. And I am so, again, I'm happy for the team and everything, but it's like I'm just happy for Arkansans and Hog fans because, man, that was they did everything they could, man. They did everything they could to try to give it away, but just, like I said, just feels so good to be a winner again. It just feels so good, man.
You got to feel good for Sam Pittman, too. Like, you 100%. I mean, and look, like, obviously we don't know how long the Sam Pittman era is going to last, but, a win like tonight and a moment like this is really just going to add to it to where I think when people look back, there will be that appreciation. Because obviously everyone has the built-in excuse of whenever he took over, it was a dumpster fire and blah, blah, blah. That lasted for a while. That excuse got old real quick. You started needing to feed them. They say feed the monster. I don't know if Arkansas football is a monster. You had to feed the beagle, you had to feed the dog. You had to give it its benefit. But I feel like this moment is one that we'll see how the season plays out, but we'll just kind of add to where some fans will kind of be like, you know what? That Sam Pittman guy, we like the cold beer. We liked all the bits. And I will say, we said on the show, we were like, hey, is the team going to fight for him? Because that's a question you have to ask, especially with the way Arkansas season ended last year. And again, I know that like people blame people like us for stuff like this, but there are moments where you do kind of lose the team. And it would have been fair to wonder if they were going to be able to respond to this. And you kind of just felt like, oh, man, they're playing a top 5 Tennessee team. Imagine if you lose this game, then what does it look like post-bye? Arkansas doesn't have to worry about that. Arkansas, we don't have to worry about, hey, is this Arkansas team going to mail it in? They got a lot to play for, and they showed that tonight, man. They at the very least are playing for their head coach.
No doubt.
I was also I know you guys again. I'm just joining the stream, so I'm sure you talked all about the stuff I'm going to say. But man, like shout out to Travis Williams. I mean that first half was one of the best defensive performances I've seen an Arkansas team do. I mean, it wasn't like Tennessee was just careless with the ball and having turnovers. It wasn't like Arkansas was getting some calls or anything. They just, as the Kamani Johnson said, nut dropping time. Like that's what they did. They went out there and they just performed. And I'll be honest, because I'm sure you guys felt the same way. When Tennessee came out in the second half and they went right down the field, they had that big play and then they scored. And I was like, man, the defense gave you just enough. And now they're going to get work, and all that. But they came back on it, and they just held their own. And when that fourth down play, never felt good about it. I'm like, all right, this is the way. This is how it's going to end. It's going to end on the final play of the game, and Arkansas is going to lose it. But again, I have nothing negative to say. We'll talk about that all week long. I know we will. We'll dive into. We've got a bye week. We can talk about all the stuff that's going on. But shout out to Sam Pittman. Shout out to Travis Williams. Shout out to Malachi Singleton, man. And that, dude. He looked like first couple drives. I was like, man, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be bad. But he held his own, made some. Braylon Russell. I could go on and on. That dude, like, what? You're talking about the newcomers coming up there and getting it big. I don't care how the game went. I don't care what the final score was. If it should have been more, should have been less, doesn't matter. You won. You beat the number 4 team in the country, and you stormed the field. You have every reason to celebrate, so make it last, folks. Just enjoy yourself, enjoy your night, and enjoy the bye week because right now you just knocked off a top 5 team, and you finally performed well enough at home to get a win.
Exactly, man. Absolutely huge. And honestly, what stood out to me, after Arkansas gives up those 2 touchdowns and they really just buckled down and just looked, man, they were just flying all over the place the rest of the game, getting stops. And you could just tell that Tennessee, they weren't going to be able to get anything going on them. The difference was, in my opinion, credit to the offense, because against Texas A&M was a bunch of 3 and outs, 1-minute drives, and they're punting the football. And even though Arkansas wasn't scoring a lot, and they had plenty of missed opportunities there in the first half, they just controlled the clock, and your defense wasn't out there play after play after play. And you could see that they were still fresh late in the game. And man, they were just so damn impressive. It's a feel good game. We got more super chats in here. I love this from Garrett McCollum. Appreciate you, brother. He says, Curtis Andrew John, I love you. The fighting Sam Pittman's never a doubt. I'm about to get so drunk and naked. Ooh, pig.
I love that. How about Spectre Streams? Let's effing go.
Yeah.
Let's flip and go for sure.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Spectre Streams pulls up in these post games and he's active.
I love it, man. I love it. Appreciate you.
These are big boy chats too. Doug Stubbs. What will be the what will be the soon on Ville's? I don't know.
Those are just letters. I don't know what that is.
There's a lot of words. Doug, we really appreciate your support, man. This is awesome.
Thank you.
That couldn't have said it better myself. But seriously, Doug, we do appreciate you. We appreciate you chatting. And drink some water before you go to bed, Doug's.
Can I ask a quick question? What do I owe Mark an apology for? Did I miss something?
Apparently, you said that Arkansas didn't have talent.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry for you, Mark. I'm sorry. There you go. There's your apology. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, this is a good point because Hunter is probably going to have to pay another fine, which as we've seen before.
There goes the slobber hog.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, luckily he's got about roughly $1 million in donations coming in the last week. So yeah, they're good. But Petrino Durrell, attorney at law, really good work that they do in the state of Arkansas. They are willing to help out. So that's always good to see. Curtis, even when Arkansas football comes up with the massive top 5 win, how does this impact Malik Thomas's decision, of course, the basketball recruit on campus today? I'd say it doesn't hurt, right?
Arkansas is going to get him anyway, but hey, maybe he pops early now, just get it out of the way. You don't want to go anywhere else after that. Come on, man.
By the way, I saw them. I saw the recruits and everybody. Man, they had paparazzi all around them, man. Every Hog fan knew who they were, and they were hyping them up. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's freaking awesome, man. And yeah, like the only other visit he has scheduled is Kansas State. Yeah. You don't need to go to Kansas State after that. Come on, decision made.
Remember when Jerome Tang was like who Arkansas basketball? That was firmly on their radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all knew we weren't gonna have a post-game show without Timothy Long making an appearance.
That's right.
Feels good. What a win. Nice to have a week off. My blood pressure is killing me. Hey, John, love you, buddy. Happy late B-Day. He's speaking like he actually is going to get like a week off. Like he needed the rest from his blood pressure. Definitely probably does need it. His heart needs a week off from Arkansas football. Good news is you get 2 bye weeks this year. Love that. And Witty F.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Witty F. Coming full circle. Great catch, Broden. If Broden doesn't catch that pass, I'm not sure Arkansas wins this game.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that was big time, dude. Great grab, absorbed the contact, hauled it in. That was huge, man. That was huge. And shout out to you, Witty, for giving props when they're due.
And that is
absolutely.
I respect that. And Witty, we rock with Witty regardless. I know his relationship with Tyrone Broden is a little bit tainted, but our relationship with Witty is a good one.
That's right.
we're like the friend that's like really trying to sell him on the. We're like, hey, come on, dude, can I invite Broden? He's not that bad. Come on.
Yeah, he's all right.
Do I have your permission to get a little bit political real quick?
Sure, go ahead. I don't care anymore.
Well, it's really not me. It's Anthony Lee. He says, screw Trump and Harris. T-Will for president.
Hey, write him in. Write him in on the ballot.
Absolutely.
He deserves it. After that performance, I mean, come on. He deserves it.
Y'all hear Herb say 10, let us score that last one.
I did 100%
did.
Yeah. And I think there was there's a little bit of an element there.
And it almost paid off for him. I mean, they got it all the way down to the 20 whatever.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nico Iamalieva for not even throwing the damn football into the end zone.
He was like, look, I know there's no time on the clock, but I'm going to move the chains here. I got to get this first down.
That was very much a Texas A&M on the EA Sports simulation kind of. Yeah, like what the hell was that?
I was going to bring up that same thing, dude. I was like, dude, that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, the guy thought he had more time than the computer didn't let him do it, though. Computer didn't let him do it.
I'll take it.
John, you got post game plans?
I'm going to see where they take the goalpost, so I'm going to try to.
Well, then that's the answer to Raymond Fergus's question. He says, neighbors, where are you buying the shots for us up? Happy to see you smiling, dude. Go Hogs. The people like it when John's happy.
Yeah.
Which is rare.
Happy John's good, John. They appreciate salty John after games, but everybody wants to see a happy John, for sure.
Hey, listen. I mean, again, I was telling people, like, how emotional, like, it was, because, I mean, man, I'm just going to be honest. Like, it was, I've had a rough year, man, and it just made me so happy, dude. We had a rough year. It was just nice to feel good about something for a change, like we've been putting in the work and we've been killing it here inside Arkansas, man, and just 12-hour days of just killing it and the ups and downs. But, man, just for one time, it just felt good to win. Man. So I just, God, it gets me so hyped, dude. It's like dancing off. It's good.
Well, look, what we do is a little bit tough, like especially on these post games, because what we're attempting to do is to almost tell fans how they should feel about the game in a weird way. Like, I know that's not really our goal, but that's kind of, when this game ends and they people hear us, it's kind of like, hey, how do you feel about this one? And so often that's been a tough task, especially after Oklahoma State, which I texted Curtis today and I was like, I feel a little bit justified for how upset I was after the Oklahoma State game, knowing how winnable that game was. And honestly, this game kind of proves that. But after this one, man, like regardless of, even if Arkansas had, come up short, like this was a team you could be proud of. And I think that's really just what people want. People, we can always say like, what's the expectation for Arkansas football? And we can put our values on it, but it's like people want a team they can be proud of. And they feel like they get that in a lot of other sports at Arkansas. And football, that's what was so tough. And the relationship between the fans. I mean, something like this hadn't happened at home. I mean, since the Texas game, which is 3 years ago, but then you can even go further back than that. Like, it's a rare occurrence. And so It's just nice to have a game where we don't have to tell you guys, hey guys, that was cool. Trust me, that was a good performance. That was a good, that's a team you can be proud of. And for one night, John, best team in the country. 3 minutes, 3 hours. I don't know how long we were playing. Maybe 4 hours. We're the best team in the country tonight.
No doubt, man.
Him and Vandy 1 and 2.
About to say, unfortunately, there's not a player yet on Arkansas that you can say put him in the Heisman. There ain't a player like that. But maybe put Travis Williams in the running for the Broyles Award, because man, that dude deserves all the praise and deserves a huge raise after this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And honestly, like, guys, I mean, we're gonna keep talking about football here, but I mean, you see that emotion on John there, and it's just true, man. Like this year has really sucked. And we've gotten kicked in the balls a lot. And we continue to by some people who shouldn't be doing it, quite frankly. And they can kiss my ass. But I'll tell you this right now. It would have been very easy for us when all this stuff was going down this summer to just say, hey, you know what, man, we tried. We'll go our separate ways, and we'll still be buddies and everything, but we wanted to continue doing this because this is how much it means to us. And being able to share it with you guys and being in here. And it's almost like we've just got a bunch of friends and like extended family. And it's not just us, it's everybody who's in the chat. Even when things are going bad, you guys are yelling at us and everything. Like this is what it's all about. And that's why we're so excited about it. And that's why we're so damn adamant about continuing to do this and relaunching and pushing forward. It's for moments like this and being able to share it with the Razorback fans, because it's just different here, man. It just is. And we go through so much with this fan base in terms of just heartbreak after heartbreak. But it's all worth it because of moments like this, because they do happen and they can happen. And this is freaking awesome. And everybody should really, really enjoy it. It's sweet, man. I love it.
And dude, the thing that was cool about this game, and I know we're this is about more than just the game and more of the football, but also with this team, it was one of those wins where it really was a true, well-rounded team victory. Like, so many things had to happen, so many people had to step up on all three phases. I mean, even Matthew Shipley, who made that, he just had the one extra point, but it's like, doing that's a big deal. Devin Bale had a couple really solid punts. The one that almost got inside the 20 where he punted. I don't know what the final tally on that was, but I would imagine he's now had a 53-yard punt or whatever it was. Just all three phases, dude stepping up offensively. And by the way, guys, I want to just put some more context on this because I know the offense, it's like tough to be like, hey, performance of the year after, only having what it was. It ended up being 420 yards of offense, at least according to ESPN. Again, Stat Broadcast is going drunk, but Tennessee was averaging 176 yards of total offense per game. Arkansas gets almost 300 yards over that, only allowing 50 on the ground. And then, their offense too, averaging 565 yards a game, well below that, nearly 300 yards below that. Like, it's just unreal, man. And like, Tennessee's going to have much better days. But it took a lot of things for Arkansas to win this game, and credit to them, man. They all went out there and took it. Like, and obviously I know people are going to talk about, Tennessee let them score at the end. And people are really upset about that for whatever reason. But, dude, I mean, Arkansas went out there and just beat them up. They beat those dudes up.
They did.
They really did.
The difference in this year versus last year is before the game, instead of watching Polar Express in the locker room, they were watching Vandy against Alabama. And they took the script, man. They followed the blueprint and they got it done. Sometimes you just got to have the television on the right channel. That's it. That's all it takes.
Well, and Kentucky Ole Miss set the stage for this a little bit last week, because this almost looked like a little bit of a carbon copy of that game where, these top teams that we all had penciled in for playoff runs, even Bama, who's coming off the best win of the year, man, just any given Saturday.
Well, and also, like, the thing I'll throw in too is I know everyone's going to celebrate this weekend. You got the bye week, but guys, that LSU game in 2 weeks, holy crap. Dude, 6 o'clock game, LSU coming to town, battle for the Golden Boot. You want to keep it here? The atmosphere was incredible tonight. Like, Razorback fans brought it, man. But that one here in 2 weeks, shoe buddy, get Taylon Green healthy. I love what Malachi did, but get him healthy, get some guys healthy, and you have a chance to really spark something. If you got the confidence now. The floodgates are open. You proved you can actually finish a game and win. It wasn't pretty, but you won. So just build upon that, man. You got 2 weeks to prepare for an LSU team and keep this rolling.
You do this and all bets are off. the rest of the season. Like coming into this game, I was looking at it going, man, like Tennessee, Texas, Ole Miss, looking at that schedule. You look at it now after doing what you did to Tennessee, and I'm not saying that Arkansas is going to win every game the rest of the season. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But you have a chance in every game that you play, especially Missouri at the end of the year because they suck. But,
you know what this feels like to me? It feels like, the 2014 Arkansas team, once it clicked for them and they beat LSU, which got them their first SEC win under Brett Bielema, and then they blew out Ole Miss the next week. They had a disappointing loss to Missouri, but in that LSU and those Missouri or in those Ole Miss games, it felt like, man, if you could have just had this team the whole year, if this team could have played, Texas A&M earlier in the year, and I know that team that year lost 14-13 to Bama, but you're like, man, it's like they found it late there in like mid-November. It's like this team found it a little bit sooner. And so you kind of get to do that. And 2015 was a similar kind of situation where had some devastating losses early, but that team really found their stride kind of mid-season. And so going into a bye week, man, hopefully Arkansas can get healthy, and we'll await some updates on some of their top guys because they definitely have some additions to the injury report now.
Well,
but man, I think this Arkansas team has to feel so good, and just being able to have this bye week to reset. Like you said, it feels like a new season. It feels like it just gave this team new life, and it should have. I mean, absolutely.
I have an update on Taylon Green. I have not listened to Sam Pittman, but got a text from our assistant and chat moderator. But she said that Sam Pittman said it's an MCL for Taylon. They hope to get him healthy during the bye week. So MCL is better than ACL, obviously, but it depends on the degree of it. I also have no idea how it was an MCL given the mechanism of injury. That's athletic trainer nerd stuff, but we'll see. I'm sure he's going to probably get, some scans or whatever, and they'll see how he feels in the morning and everything. But at least right off the jump, they seem optimistic they'll be able to get him back. So
that's good.
That's good
news.
I want to hop into a few more super chats because they're rolling in. I don't want any of these to go overlooked. Doug Stubbs says stupid voice dictation. He wanted to clarify he tried to do the talk to text thing. What would be the story that Vols let Hogs score and then cannot convert? I don't think that's going to be the story of the game. I understand why Kirk said that in the moment, and I think there's an element of truth to it. I definitely don't think he was trying to be like, Tennessee quit or whatever. Like, I don't think that's going to be like a narrative moving forward. I think it was just in that moment they were giving themselves the best chance to win, and at the end of the day, they did not do enough to win. Timothy Long, we appreciate your chat.
Thanks, brother.
I think what he's referencing, Trey was really upset that they didn't review that Jaquinton Jackson at the 1 yard line, and then there was a false start the next play. The replay seemed to show he was pretty solidly down.
Well, I thought so.
Let me throw this in just real quick on top of that. Like the yellow line, blue line here at the stadium was jacked because there were so many plays that looked like a just blatant, like two of the fourth downs that Arkansas missed. Guys, here in the stadium, everyone thought they got it because they were like, oh, yeah, first down. And that's why they're so mad. They're like, how? Yeah. So whoever's in charge of that, man, they got to get that fixed ASAP because that was stressing everybody out.
The Gums one was tough because his knee touched down, which they were able to determine, and replay showed that. But the play happened afterwards, and he clearly would have gotten it on that second effort. I think that's where the confusion came in there. But, I wonder if the stadium was just kind of struggling with the replay or whatever. But Fishman says, John, that emotion gets a super chat. Fishman's also been with us since, like, the jump.
Oh,
he's watched us rise, fall, rise again, fall on our face, and rise again a little bit, and then kind of come out just like this Arkansas team, ready to fight another day.
Right.
Raymond Ferguson says, love you. Trials and tribulations deserve triumphs. Blessing, man. And I will say, I'm not saying that, hey, all this, a night like this makes it all worth it. Like in terms of Arkansas fandom, it's still, for the most part, it sucks. And there's a lot of moments where you're like, what the hell? But moments, all the moments you go through they add a little bit of a layer to this. And I think the fact that like the obvious storyline was staring us right in the face the whole time makes this one a little bit easier to enjoy. But Daniel Turner wants to know, did Tebow just earn himself a lifetime contract at Arkansas after that phenomenal performance of the defense? Whoopik Suey.
Sure, if he wants it.
If Arkansas could get him to a lifetime contract, they would certainly do it.
Sign me up for that today, brother.
Yeah.
That lifetime contract would probably have to have an HC next to it. If Travis Williams, I think that's going to be a man in high demand real soon. And
send out the press release tonight. Travis Williams named head coach in waiting. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
We've hit him with the franchise tag. He can't go anywhere. Just
Guys,
one year.
It's
We'll figure
crazy.
it out.
It's
Old
crazy.
Smile, we're all crying. We'll pick Suey. Lance Walker, we used a super chat to update us on the injury. How about that? That's good stuff right there.
Here we go. Love that.
That's good stuff. He said Green has mild MCL, return after bye week at Per Pit. Let's hope that is the case. Spectre Streams comes in again, man. One more. I love the show. I listen on my way to work during the week and try to tune in after games. You guys are awesome. Some goats for Razorback sports and fans. Keep up the good work, guys. We'll pick so we really appreciate that, Spectre Streams, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate like the regulars, man. And we appreciate everybody, but like, man, it's just really cool to see like these same names pop in here and like, believe it or not, guys, like we talk about it all the time. We're like, oh, what is so and so? What's Witty gonna think of that catch? What's we talk about this kind of stuff, and so it really is cool. And happy birthday to John, says Aaron. Am I right?
Yeah,
Hey.
talk about a belated gift, brother.
Hey, I'll take it all day long. It was funny because we got out here for our tailgate at about 6 a.m. and because we do it at first light, and we had a great group of people. Like it was hot, man, but we had a great group of people come by. A lot of the baseball team came by, Andrew. So if you need any deets, I can throw up some of those.
Yeah,
but no, it was just a great time for like. I mean, no fan. Everybody was going into it being like, yeah, I hope this works. Hopefully it's good. Da 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 da. But it's like, man, just to. I don't know, just like walking out of here, and I'm in the parking garage, by the way. But it was walking out of here and seeing all the Hog fans, guy over here chugging beers. It's just been like this, we haven't seen that in so long, guys. Like just seeing happy Hog fans, like dude, it's like when was the last time? Maybe I know they did against Duke, I guess, in basketball, but that was so short lived, and you had it in baseball in regular season, but I mean, you know what that means. So it just. Yeah, to see that type of feeling from Razorback fans, man, it's just been so long.
John, you gotta quit referencing the baseball team. And
I'm sorry,
I know you referenced there, but yeah, come on, don't lump them in with the other cousins. Let's.
I'm just saying it ended in disappointment. I say it just ended in disappointment. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Mark, undo the mute button, dude. Like turn your volume up, okay? Because you've sent this like 3,000 times now.
Yeah.
This has been a Sam Pittman glaze, brother. Relax a little bit. We're happy for the man. We've said it over and over and over and over and over and over again, probably more times than you've sent this damn message. So we get it. Thank you.
and just because I'm a clown that performs on command, we love Sam Pittman.
Yep.
Like, and this makes you feel good for Sam Pittman, and we've always loved. Everybody loves the guy, and of course. We can table the discussion, which we are very happy to do, and we've said this all along. We would much rather just talk about the actual games rather than the big picture standing of if the program can live or die. I'm glad that we can set aside the psychoanalyzation of the entire program and just enjoy the win and let's talk about this season and what this team can do, because that's ultimately the story we want to tell. And for Sam Pittman tonight, it's a positive story. Hell yeah. The super chats are still rolling in.
Yeah, we got to get through them, man.
Ice cold mint julep. Is that who is
MF
MF?
and Travis Williams, brother. MF and Travis Williams.
Oh, okay. MF.
Yeah.
Okay. If it would have been TMFW, I would have gotten it right away, but I missed that one. I can smell a bowl. I can smell a bowl too. Arkansas's 4-2 now. I mean, their over under for wins preseason was 5.5. Vegas clearly just no idea. We got a Woo Pig. Woo Pig.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Woo Pig.
I got Kingsley. We're always going to ride for the guys. Kingsley is always going to ride for us, man. And I will ride for Kingsley too. If you have haters in your life, Kingsley, well, I feel like we owe you that we should have your back and combat your haters as well, because we appreciate all the time you do it for us. And we look forward to seeing you very soon. Megan's back some more. She said, love to see the passion from you guys. I feel at home here. Love you guys. You are home, Megan.
You are at home here. Yep. That's right.
Especially since you're the cool Megan. We appreciate that.
Yeah. The other one's MIA. I don't know what's going on.
Speaking of homes, I kind of wish I was at the home of JC Hazelwood, who is probably watching Alex Pereira get a knockout right now. Words. Love you guys. LFG, you deserve it. We do deserve it. I actually had a buddy who is he doesn't have a college football affiliation. He's just a football guy. And he texted me whenever it looked like it was going south for Tennessee. And he said, man, Hawk fans don't deserve the way that this season has played out. And I was like, you're right. You're right. They don't deserve it. Although some of them maybe just a little bit, but they don't really deserve it. But they do deserve this win. Any sports fan deserves to have these moments. I mean, that's the thing with sports. Eventually we would go away if there weren't moments like this, the carrot that keeps being floated in front of us, because this is always possible. And in college football, this really is possible any Saturday. I mean, freaking Vanderbilt just beat Alabama, who beat Georgia last week.
Make it make sense,
Goodness
man.
gracious, man.
Make it make sense.
And man, now that we're in this new era of college football playoff, this new crazy world, I'm not going to start talking about the Hogs, but I'm just mean like it just adds a new like little layer to this whole season, man. It's crazy. Lance Walker says, glad the Hogs won. Vacationing in Gatlinburg, Tennessee next month. I can wear my Hog apparel. I appreciate it. Gatlinburg's a good place. By the way, speaking of the state of Tennessee, guys, y'all know where Eric Gregory is from?
Nope.
That's a Memphis boy, I'm pretty sure.
I thought he lived in the video game.
I mean, he's in the game. He's in the game already. EA Sports, he must have slipped him a 20. But Eric Gregory, he looked like the EA Sports Eric Gregory tonight. Had a sack and a half, a TFL and a half. Guys, do y'all remember the last time Arkansas beat Tennessee? Which, by the way, Arkansas football beats Tennessee like every time they play. What is that, like 4 in a row? I mean, and that crosses like 20 years. There are several children on this planet who do not know that Tennessee is capable of beating Arkansas in football. But the last time Arkansas beat them, Eric Gregory had an interception to seal that game. It's kind of crazy, ball batted or whatever, but just thought that was interesting. So good for a Tennessee native to get the job done. And Addison Nichols had some snap troubles, but good for him being a part of this win. I'll leave it at that. Danico Slaughter had his ups and downs in this game, but he was out there and he was fighting just like everyone else on the defense. Shout out to the Tennessee boys and shout out to Heartbroken Hog, who says, tonight I am the whole heart hog. Let's freaking go. He's no longer Heartbroken Hog. He's going to graduate one of these days. I think if Arkansas gets 8 regular season wins, he's got to graduate from Heartbroken Hog.
Yeah, maybe so. Hey, shout out to Larry Worth, by the way, who got a start in this game. He had 7 tackles, half tackle for loss. He was flying around all over the place.
He stood that one boy up on that one. He met him, and it was just like, no, you're not going any further.
They called him somebody he wasn't on the first play, which, man, that was getting on my nerves early in the game. They couldn't get it right. Yeah, Fowler, Isaac Satania, LaQuindon Jackson, Joshua Brown. Like, they were all over the place with it. Like,
John, you need to go back and find the video. That throw to Satania in the end zone that he couldn't quite come up with. The defender got in the way. Fowler went like 45 seconds. He got it.
Oh, yeah.
Down Arkansas. Hit that line. He was going nuts. And then Kirk was like, yo, Chris.
Actually, no. That's
just an incomplete pass.
Well, I always thought that what helps you is the when the officials do that.
Yeah,
that's usually a good indicator if it's a touchdown or not.
He didn't notice Isaiah. He thought Isaiah Satania was like a cool celebration. Him putting his hands on his head.
Oh yeah,
he was like, "Oh, unique celebration," but I'm here for it.
At least Arkansas didn't do anything crazy like the South Carolina guy who got the sack and came up firing the AK at him.
Just straight
up wild.
You can't do that.
There were a couple in the NFL last week that like I thought were crazy. Where like I was like, oh, he was doing the point for a first down. He wasn't shooting a gun. When you point right at the quarterback, and yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. But Wonder Bread, who also is a loyal guy, we appreciate him. Says we get to sit with this one for 2 weeks, boys. All time game. Congrats to y'all and the fans. Yeah, going into that bye week, it definitely feels a little bit sweeter whenever you get to do that. Whenever you get to sit with this one, and now we just get to live in Candyland for forever.
Yeah,
sign me up for that.
It's gonna be nice to. I'm not saying like, hey, Sam Pittman's now untouchable and we'll never get we're not getting into that, but I'm just saying it's gonna be nice to have a week to where, because if they would have lost this game, that's all it would have been. That's all it would have been is just, hey, who's the next coach? Let's move on. Blah 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 blah. And it's just gonna be nice to like change that a little bit up and just being able to say, hey. All right, they beat Tennessee. So here's how they're going to beat LSU. Here's what they need to do during the bye week. And then talk about that. That, to me, is also going to be a nice relief of just curbing that part that gets brought up every single day and actually being able to start talking about, a game and how a game matters now. And it's like people are going to care about it a lot more. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for that. There was going to be, like we would have put a smiley face on and done it. Because like we said, it's thick or thin. Like we're going to show up, but the amount of phone calls about he's the offensive line guru, huh? What about I don't know, insert random coach in here, which by the way, y'all better stop hating on my man Rhett Lashley. All right. Big win for them today.
Getting it done.
But no, I 100% agree. It's just gonna be so nice to talk about optimistic things again for however long it's lived, man. Like the possibilities of what this football team could do. That's that's what it's all about. The negativity, and listen, there's times where it's warranted, because we've all been around this program, but boy, when you can feel good, and we get to do it for 2 weeks. Shout out to the bye week. This is just a good time right now. We have there are more lows than highs as a Razorback fan, but this is a high right now. You beat Tennessee at home. People are going crazy. They're excited. They're fired up. They're believing again. Basketball's getting rolling. You got some stuff coming up for all that. The Calipari era and everything. This is one of those times you need to be dialed in, right? You need to cherish being the Razorback fan right now. This is one of the ups.
And you got to build on this a little bit. And this program, they needed, and look, who knows what the future holds for this program and the head coach and whatever. But just public perception wise, I feel like this is huge for Arkansas. Again, for the next 2 weeks, at least, Arkansas gets to kind of be out there getting a lot of love. I mean, you're on ABC 6:30. How cool is it that Arkansas is on a big national stage and they made the most of it? They're the media darling. They're the Sam Pittman, Cole Beer. Like, people are going to love that. I haven't been on Twitter at all since the game. I mean, as soon as the game ended, we went live. I'm sure there's a bunch of tweets that are like, oh, you got to feel good for Sam Pittman, kind of the sentiment we had. That kind of stuff helps, man. And being on these stages and making the most of it, like, you never know. I mean, so many people in the country, we'll see the TV ratings, so many people in the country watching this game, they're like, you know what, Arkansas football, cool. Like, that looks fun. You see how much fun everyone was having in Fayetteville tonight. That kind of stuff, man, it's stuff that people remember.
I was going to ask you guys real quick, because I didn't get a chance to watch on TV. Like, the final third down and fourth down, like, it was bedlam in here. Like, it was loud. I don't know how it sounded on TV, but it like Razorback fans showed out. It was pretty deafening in those times they needed them the most.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. Like, they panned over to the sideline. You could just see all the students and everybody flooding down. Like, you knew what was coming, and it was making me a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm like, oh shit, man. Like, Tennessee, they're kind of driving here. Like, don't do this too quick. I remember when Arkansas fans did that at Bud Walton for that Auburn game. Yeah, and then it winds up going to overtime. You're just like, like, don't count your chickens before they hatch. So I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. It looked awesome. And honestly, I was getting annoyed before the game, because it was like, just scrolling through my timeline, every third post on Twitter was, there's a lot of orange in Razorbacks. There's a lot of orange in there. Just brace yourself for the picture, Peter. There's a lot of orange. And
that's fine on TV.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. The people were like, oh, it doesn't look like much of a stripe, more like the checkerboard at Tennessee. And I'm like, dang, that sucks. Then it just wasn't like that at all. I'm sure there were plenty of Tennessee fans,
the tailgate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it was. There was a bunch of Tennessee fans here. I'll admit it, but also, let's be honest too. Like, orange very much stands out. So, like, but here's the thing: fans travel. Tennessee fans travel. Like, they don't get to go to Fayetteville very often. So you're going to have a great turnout. Like, just seeing the amount of fans that went to BYU. Was it because, Hog fans just travel great everywhere? It's like, no, they never get to go to BYU. So you're going to have more people that show up to more of a unique place. And they were loud. I mean, they were crazy. And saw some Razorback fans doing some very mean things they're saying mean things to him after the game, which is, is part of it. But it was, but no, like, they had a bunch of fans here. They did, but the Razorback fans handled their own. And they came to work. They came to make some noise and to build an atmosphere, and they did their job.
It's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee reacts to this, because their fans were kind of like annoyed that there was like no, Arkansas fans like chirping at them all week. They were kind of like ready for the fight. We had a couple that were pretty nice in our comments, which I appreciate, and we don't overlook that. But yeah, I wonder like how they're going to react, like their fan base is going to react to this loss, because I don't think they all really saw this coming. I know some people were talking about this Arkansas defense, but I don't think their entire fan base was like, oh yeah, this is a trap game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most Tennessee fans, I even talked to them, a lot of them were really nice, even last night, and they were just like, man, I don't know, like, every time we go on the road in the SEC, I was like, yeah, but we play the worst here at home in Arkansas, so, they should be confident. I mean, good, you had a bye week, you've been destroying everybody, and Arkansas has found ways to lose, so, yeah, it's like, again, I know that there's stuff that we'll dive into all throughout the week of things that need to be fixed and all that, but no negative vibes tonight, boys. Like, just enjoy it. Just enjoy. I don't care about what stats, numbers, nothing. It's all about emotion. And you know what? It's like, I kind of think of, the way that, I think it was in The Dark Knight at the end of it, but he was, Commissioner Gordon was kind of like, the people need to be rewarded for their loyalty. It's like, that's what you have, Hog fans. You needed to be rewarded for your sticking with this team, sticking with this program for so long because you've been hit. And so you got rewarded tonight. So enjoy that. So celebrate it till the cows come home and have a great night tonight. That's all that matters right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I look forward to continuing to break it down, which Curtis and I are going to do on our post-game accountability, on our player grades, which are going to have a very positive tone to them. So we had
tomorrow, by the
on
way,
stream
people,
tonight,
tomorrow. Yeah,
tomorrow.
We're going to enjoy the night too. All right.
We're gonna enjoy, Hey, 24-hour rule. 24-hour rule.
That's right.
It's not a 6-hour rule for us. But yeah, I look forward to breaking it all down because there's a lot to break down, and there's a lot of positivity. And I actually think the numbers aren't like the gaudiest, but considering the circumstances coming in, and we'll talk about it all, but it really was as impressive a performance as you could realistically ask for. Yeah, by the way, I had Nathan Klein's super chat pulled. I was just sitting there for like 8 minutes. Shout out to Nathan Klein. Appreciate it. Love the Razorbacks. Love Inside Arkansas. We love you, Nathan Klein.
Thank you.
Let's also Eric going global, sending love from DE. Love you, boys. He said Germany the other day. What is DE? Is that maybe like?
Well, mine's throwing a German flag.
I got the German flag up here.
So okay. Maybe
you need to hit that update on your laptop there. Yeah, get the emojis.
Well, I'm not a fan. I don't got the Mac. This is we're on straight HP, bro. Shout out Jordan Sims. Just want you to know he's here, which we appreciate.
Thank you.
He didn't even offer us a head coaching candidate. That's typically we're gonna have to change that rule. We can no longer accept head coaching candidates because that's what we're kind of doing with the super chats. I don't know if we can do that. You just have to give us your favorite Taylor Green throw every time you do a super chat.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly.
Richard Reed says, ever since Sterner left the ball on the turf in '98, I've absolutely hated Tennessee, the color orange, and especially the song Rocky Top. Go Hogs. Hey, come on. We don't have to pretend like Rocky Top's a bad song. It's a very good song. Let's just be honest.
Rumor has it they started playing Rocky Top as the field was getting stormed.
Which is they should play it because it's a good song and because it is good to rub in their face. But
it's a great flex if true. I remember when Arkansas beat Tennessee in 2020?
Yeah,
when they came the COVID year, and they tweeted it out, the Arkansas football account. I was trying to find it today, but I couldn't. But it was like the chick who puts it on the record player, the Rocky Top thing, and then they scratched the record and it went to the highlights or whatever. It was pretty sick. I couldn't find it though because I wanted to have it in my arsenal to tweet out in the event that Arkansas won, and it's just a missed opportunity, man. But Arkansas missed some opportunities tonight, and they still won the damn game, and they feel good. So I do too. It's okay.
All that matters.
Get them next time. Yeah.
Listen. All you gotta do is just not turn the ball over. That's all. We totally gave him the blueprint. We gave him the groundbreaking advice of don't turn the ball over and be stupid.
Did you know that Arkansas is just a couple turnovers away from being 6-0? It's crazy. It's
which, by the way, we'll get into that later. There is a part of me that's kind of a little bit annoyed, and I'm again saving it all for another day. No negative vibes tonight, but I feel a little bit vindicated for how pissed I was after the UAB game, after the Oklahoma State game, and even the A&M game. But Lance Walker is not disappointed. He says, one more. Got to tell you all how much I appreciate what you do. I listen to you all every day. Andrew, baseball, College World Series champs this year. You're damn right. I already declared that at the Eskimo Joe's in Stillwater after a rough loss. And even after a rough football loss, I predicted Arkansas baseball natty. I actually didn't predict natty, did I? I just said they were going back to Omaha.
No, you said they were going to go win a natty.
Okay, fine. Well, then, all right, fair. All right, they win a natty. It is what it is. But Bryce Bryant, and by the way, really thank everyone for taking the time to do the super chat and just taking the time to participate in this stream. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11:30. Like, you guys got stuff to do. I appreciate you spending your Saturday night with us, man. We appreciate it. But Bryce Bryant says, remember that time Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Razorbacks won the Bourbon Bowl? Yes.
Yep.
Beautiful. It's great stuff. Who played the role of Bobby Boucher in this game? I mean, who are we giving the credit to?
Braylon Russell? I don't know, man.
Braylon Russell was a little Bobby Boucher.
Seriously, man. Yeah. My goodness.
Give that kid all the carries, dude. That guy, a true freshman going out there in one of the biggest games against a top 5 team, holding on to the dadgum ball and making plays and the game's on the line.
He got better every time he touched the ball, man. It was crazy. Dude. Ice Coldman Julep says, didn't we have a good recruit there for this game? I believe a few.
There was a 5-star, right? Landon's little bro or whatever was on campus today.
Yeah, what's that? The Jackson's name?
Lance.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, Landon Jackson thought for a second we were like, "Oh crap, he suffered like a real bad injury." And then he was like right back out there. Right. But I was a little worried for him for a second.
That didn't look real good either. I got something to share. It's just going to take 5 seconds. It'll make everybody smile. But I got to get you guys off the screen.
It's easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, whatever the hell with it. It's Bobby Petrino and somebody else hugging each other. Sam Pittman. There you go. I hope you guys like that.
I tell you, show and tell. You did great work.
Yeah.
It was just it was like we were there watching.
Yeah,
it,
that's right.
Like, we were there hugging. Man, what a night.
Goodness. Also, William says, how big is that win going into the bye week before LSU? So happy for the kids and the haters. I feel like LSU game going to be very obtainable. It's going to be very winnable. I believe Arkansas will probably be favored. Hey,
that's
there
beautiful.
We are.
That's sexy right there.
There we go.
That's good stuff. Hey, easy to cheer for those fellas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, credit to them. No ego in that photo.
Nope.
No, man.
This should be a three-way hug, though. Get Travis Williams in there. Come on.
Yeah, what the heck?
They had a hug, too. I saw a picture of them, like, really embracing. Travis Williams, big smile on him, so yeah.
And confirm. All right. Sources are saying.
Sauces.
I had his up here. I guess we already talked about that one, but very obtainable. Dude, it's going to be just fun leading up to that game, which is really what we needed. Because there just hasn't, like, I feel like the last 3 weeks, we've been wanting to talk about the actual game Arkansas is playing, and more people are talking about NIL or talking about is Sam Pittman or should we bench Taylor Green? Like all these big picture things. I'm excited that people are just going to be excited to talk football, because that's what we like to do. We're football guys.
No doubt. Pooh Bear to plug. This is for you.
Look at that.
That's good stuff.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. You got to love it.
One more win till Larry comes out, boys. Or two more wins. Sorry,
two more wins.
2 more wins.
You're assuming,
it's going to be electric.
Imagine if they're 6-0. Imagine if they're 6-0. Larry'd be out tonight.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
When you're 6-0, you don't ring out Larry.
No. You bring out something else.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess we've gotten to the end of the road here. Well, not quite, but John, was Rocky Top loud in the stadium? It seemed really loud on the broadcast, says Stripiest Wig.
Not loud enough.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those you don't really hear anything.
Yeah. Listen, I actually love Rocky Top, but I mean, it was the band's there. I mean, you're gonna hear it. So.
Caleb Christian says, "How much for you guys to do a full hog call?" I don't know. I'm not gonna do a hog call. Well, we don't perform on command. I know I said I was a clown earlier, but I don't know.
We're not
it's
gestures.
A little weird.
Yeah, I think we need to do it.
Last time you gave a good hog call?
I can't remember the last time I was at a game without covering it. You know what I mean? We kind of were like that at Oklahoma State, but I got to admit, it felt weird. It's been so many years since we've been able to do that.
We look like scouts in the stands at Oklahoma State.
We did, man. Yeah, we did.
Wearing like gray sweaters and stuff.
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it at the tip-off thing.
I don't. I really try not to call the Hogs. Like Andrew doesn't call the Hogs, but you know who does like to call the Hogs? Large Robot. Large Robot. He likes to do that. I don't know. It's just his thing. I don't know.
That's the best one. Best one.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Tonight's a fun night, man. There's a lot of pain in this world, but none in this moment. Well, sure. I don't want to say none in this moment because somewhere in the world people are experiencing pain. None in this community that we have here together. Yep. None at Inside Arkansas.
What do we think, boys? We ready to wrap this up? Let people enjoy their night. We can enjoy ours.
We're ready to let people enjoy their night. Yeah. But hey, guys, stick with us because we still got a lot more stories to tell about this Arkansas football team, and they're all going to be as fun as this one. So stick with us. Stick with what we got going on at Inside Arkansas. InsideArkansas.com, the website, the YouTube page. Don't forget to hit this with a like because the algorithm thinks that we're cool when you do that.
Yep. I'll just end on this for me, at least. It's been a long time since I've been able to do this, but for those of you listening, you may want to turn down your volumes. I'm just going to be honest. I won't give you a hog call, but I am going to give you one of these as we end. Hogs by 90. Let's go. See you on Dixon Street, boys. Let's go. It was good to see you. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be great. That's all. That's all I got.
Were we supposed to have our finger on the trigger ready to end the stream right then?
No, just make it awkward for me. That's fine.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over now. Hell yeah. Woo pig, Hogs by 90. Love it.
Yes, sir. Love it. All right. Appreciate you guys.